Well, they think they're gonna change that for us. They were talking about it, the Republicans were talking about it.
Getting rid of daylight
And
savings.
they savings altogether.
Yeah, nowadays, there's more technologies in those, I heard it was for farming, but, or, harvest, but there's more technology in those tractors now than they maybe ever imagined, so.
And they should be able to work in the dark by themselves.
Up at the cottage, being farther north and a little bit farther west, I mean, it's 10 o'clock at night. It's still,
It is,
still.
yeah, isn't it?
Well, you know,
What a
there's two
difference.
different time changes in Michigan, they do that. That's how far over we are. There's two different time changes.
Oh, in the UP.
In the UP.
Yeah, when I was going
Like
there,
Chicago.
Right.
when I was a kid,
Indiana's got, would split the state right in half. Indiana.
That's weird.
Yeah.
when I was a kid, with my grandma in Hancock, I mean, they were on the same time as Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Same relation, yeah, same roads. Now, is, we got places in Michigan that's further west than St. Louis.
Yeah.
There.
Mhm.
I heard that, I didn't believe it, but I went and looked, and sure enough.
Most people are surprised about it. Usually it's south of New York.
Yeah. Stand on the, and look over the river and see that.
first thing on the agenda is the public hearing, so I will open the public hearing at 7:01. This is a public hearing, petitioner is Robert Atchison's. The property address is 1187 Pratt Road, Metamora, Michigan, 48455, for a variance request from the Metamora Township zoning ordinance number 23. Applicant is requesting approval of a 6-foot variance to reduce the side yard setback from 15 feet to 9 feet from the Metamora Township ordinance number 23, Article 13, Schedule of Regulations, Section 1300, Height, Bulk, Density, Area, and Setback Requirements by zoning district R1 district. Let me take a minute to talk about how we will conduct this public hearing. We'll have petitioners speak first, to go to the podium, state why you need the variance. We may have questions for you. When you are through, I will then open it to any members of the public who want to speak on this variance request. Then after that, if there's any questions or comments that come up with that, you have a chance to speak again. And when we're through with that, zoning administrator Israel will also give his input to this board. So with that, if you would please approach the podium. And your name is?
Robert Dustin.
Okay. And are you Robert Atchison?
Yeah.
And you're the property owner?
Yeah.
And does he have authority to speak on your behalf in this hearing?
No, I can't hardly stand.
Okay.
I have a hard time walking.
Well, you can feel free to speak from there. If you need to add anything, it's okay.
All right.
No problem.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so we're basically turning our existing garage into living space. So we're requesting to build a garage attached next to the current garage. That way we're able to park, at least one car in there and keep some other little things in there. It will match the house, it'll all flow right together. That's really it.
How big is the living space of the current house, not including the garage?
I believe it's around 1,000, maybe 1,100 square foot currently, just the house.
And how many square feet is in the current garage?
The garage currently is 24 by 24.
So two cars can be parked in there,
Yes.
and there's, I presume, there's also access from that garage to the living area.
Yes. Well, yes. The current living area does access to the current garage, and then also, once that living space is converted, there would be an access out of there to the new proposed garage also.
And prior to that, you had a carport.
Yes.
How many cars could be underneath the carport?
You could fit two, it was kind of tight, but you could get two in there.
And it was a traditional carport, just the roof.
Yeah, it was,
Sometimes.
like set up like a non-permanent structure, it just had metal framing and then, a tin metal roof and sides.
Now, I was out there the other day and I talked to you.
Yep.
The cement pad that's there now, east of the existing garage,
Yes.
that's where the carport was, because it was gone now.
Right, correct.
And how far is the eastern edge of that concrete from the lot line, do you know?
10 feet.
And with the new garage, if it was approved, the variance was approved, would it be closer?
No, it'll be 10 feet. We did ask just for an extra foot, but we're actually not even going to use it. We're not going to need it. So really, all said and done, we will be 10 feet from the property line to the edge of the new build. structure to match the house that will be attached. So we're not really, we're not getting any closer to the lot line than we ever have been, if that makes sense.
Was there any, letters or anything from the neighbors that?
No written correspondence, whether mail or email, has been received by the township.
Have your neighbors made any comments to you or?
No, I talked to, Doug across the street, and then Julie, my next door neighbor, and she has no issue at all whatsoever, so.
And on the other side, I actually stopped in twice, just pulled into, just to stop, and I didn't go find you, but I did pull
Okay.
into your driveway a couple times this week.
Okay.
Now, the other end of the house is a steep drain, right, so.
Yeah, right.
So is, because it says in here, what's unique about the property that's different from other properties in the area. So, like, in order to get a variance, there has to be something peculiar about your land that's preventing you from adding on it in another place or using it in another way. So on here you reported that it was from the terrain of the property.
I don't know, maybe I kind of misunderstood the question when I filled that out.
Well, I think, so is the reason that you're not adding on the additional quarters on the other side, because that's
Yeah,
a steep hill?
right.
That's the way I understood it.
Right, and also, it's a walkout basement, so there's a door wall on that side. Also, yeah, and then again, the terrain, the ground drops way off.
Right, okay.
Any other questions?
No, I was out there, today, walked around it, and, I can see it, where it's coming from. The west side of the house is, it's really unbuildable, I'd say, unless you want another walkout basement or something, but, he's got plenty of room to that side, but he's got a well and septic over in that area too, so that has something to do with it. And, I see nothing wrong with what he's gonna do.
Where is the septic?
I would say about the center of the house would start, and then it carries on, to the west side, to the west.
Towards the barn.
Yes.
And of course, your house is on Pratt Road,
Yeah.
one of the main east-west roads in the township. Thank you. Anyone from the public wants to speak on this public hearing? Hearing none, and so there's really nothing to respond to. So Mr. Israel, if you'll give your thoughts to this board?
I'd be happy to. This public hearing is for a 6-foot variance. I heard tonight you only want a 5-foot variance,
That's what we would use, yes.
so that's something to consider, 6 foot versus 5 foot. The other thing, our zoning ordinance doesn't allow anything less than 15 foot. Records in the file show that the carport in there never had a variance, never had zoning. It was just put there. So as far as the township is concerned, we never knew about that carport. The zoning ordinance in the R1 says 15 foot. If this board decides to give them the variance, grant the variance, whether it's 5 foot or 6 foot, that's entirely on the board. And if there's practical difficulties or terrain of the property, or for things of that nature, then this board can do that. And that's all the zoning administrator has.
Thank you. So with that, I will close the public hearing. Next thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was a couple months ago.
I'll make a motion that we, that we approve the minutes of, when was it, September 19th.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Minutes have been approved. We now have public comments for items not scheduled on the agenda. Anyone want to speak during public time? Not being any, I will close the public time, public comments. Next thing is the unfinished business. That's tonight's public hearing. Let's talk, your thoughts about the variance.
Well, my thought was, for one thing, when I go out to these jobs, I try to make sure that the firemen can get down, number one, that the firemen can get back behind the house if the house caught on fire or something. And there's plenty of room for that, so I'm in favor of the variance,
Do you favor a 6-foot variance or a 5-foot?
both 6-foot variance. And so, as I say, I'm in favor of it. And he did take down a terrible looking lean-to make it, it'll be a nice addition to the property.
I agree, that's good consideration about a fire department. With no, neighbors disagreement, and that is the steep terrain, I think would allow for, the piece about the terrain, the difficulty of the property. And putting a steel roof on and it's gonna match, so it will, it will look nice. Everything's always, I've been down there forever, everything's always nice, well maintained, and everything always looks good, so, that's great. So I don't have a problem approving the 6-foot, because that's what the paperwork was submitted, but then if it's only 5 we needed, I think that would be acceptable.
Well, I guess my thought is a couple things. Number one, it's not a large house, a little over 1,100 feet, and so it makes sense to have some more square footage. And because of the terrain, you really couldn't build something on the other side.
Yeah, the lot is 1.2 acres, so.
We're turning the existing garage into living area, makes some sense. And certainly, a new garage is more aesthetically appealing than a carport. And I guess my other thought is, again, we're talking about a house that's on Pratt Road.
Right.
It's not like it's in a subdivision where, houses are right on top of each other, and so,
One thing, that I believe that if it wasn't right for the neighbors, they would be down here. So the neighbors are in favor of it, so that's another thing that puts me in mind to approve.
So I would entertain a motion with regard to the variance.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the request for a 6-foot variance to reduce the side setback from 15 feet to 9 feet at 1187 Pratt Road.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Would the secretary call the roll, please?
Roll call vote, Gregory Wise,
Yes?
Bellinger,
Yes.
Traci Chouinard.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you all sign that?
Sorry, tomorrow.
Looks like the boys are ready to get,
Yeah, right.
you got a crew there.
Well, I got your plan review right here, I'm working on that, so it should be able to be issued.
All right.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
So I say the motion is carried and the variance has been granted, and we will give you a copy of that. With that, the next thing on the agenda is new business. There's no new business before this board this evening. And finally, we have matters for discussion from the zoning board of appeal members. Any of the members have anything they want to state?
I have nothing.
Well, the only thing I would say is, last month in November, I did go to the Mayfield Township Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. I've been to a number of the townships, just to see how everybody does it. They have a three-member board like we do, and Hazing does, where both Attica and Greer Township have 5-member boards. I would tell you they're a little bit more casual.
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't think we could get more casual.
than we are. And, anyway, with that, I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion. That we adjourn.
And I'll support.
And made and seconded, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
When you're commissioner, you'll still be able to be our chairman, right?
Yes.
Very good.
That's what I was wondering, I was wondering that, if you're gonna be a grandpa, you're still gonna be.
Yes.
Oh, in addition to being a grandpa, right? Stone just started.
Did it?
I do not want to snow day tomorrow, even though that sounds ridiculous, but I don't.
Well, you're starting to talk about 1 to 3, is that right?
Yeah, well, depends on who's, yeah, exactly. We need to go finish up all these wild Christmas activities,
Right.
and then in January, we come back with a fresh start. That's what I need.
Tomorrow's the last
Tomorrow's the last day.